Why, hello! Welcome to the back of Sparkle's room on today's episode of Sparkle Makes Things. You'll see behind me I have 2 pin boards, right? I love these pin boards. They're made by Pixie Express and they're 3D printed and they're really nice. And lately I've been wanting to make like themed pin boards. As you can see, I have a Pokemon one and I have a sea creatures one. I love Pixie Express. They make amazing pin boards, but they're closed on commissions, and I really want a specific pin board in the shape of, yes, a hat. Oh, I look like Sophie, kind of. So I want to make a pin board that's a straw hat, so I can put all of my pretty things. So it's gonna be a little bit bigger than this and a little more cork-like. But let's get started.
Materials: cork, backing, foam, pencil, craft knife, knife of crafting idea. Okay, so this cork is really messy and kind of gets everywhere. Firstly, I needed to know the depth of what I wanted this pin board to be. I didn't really want to go sticking pins straight in my drywall. That's probably not a good idea. Template time. Take your trash can and make a circle. Make sure you use mustache paper. It's not going to be perfect. And it's actually too circular. I don't know. I just needed it to be a little bit wider and not so perfectly circled. And I put on a bigger piece of paper and then started to add the bottom portion. And that worked out really well. Also, side note, that cut on my wrist is actually from Cosmo. His sweet little nails were just far too long. We were playing and he got me. So that's all. Please don't worry. It's just from Cosmo. Okay, so on the ribbon part, I was actually thinking about making that a piece of foam, but in the end I decided, I'm just gonna paint it. That's just gonna be way easier and it'll still look just fine. And you know what? I think it'd be really cool if I got Grand Line pins and put those right along that red stripe. I think that would just be really cool. So, okay, cut out the bottom portion that looks like a little odd-shaped hot dog. And make sure that your pins and pretty things fit, which they do. And now you have your template. So, I put it onto my 10mm foam. That's going to be like the thick back part. You could probably use cardboard or something more like sturdy. I just have a lot of 10mm foam, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna just use this. So, and I did Dremel everything in the garage to make it smoother. I just didn't record that part, so I'm sorry. Please don't yell at me. Okay, so for the backing, I just used these picture hanging nail things. I thought I was gonna need the nails to get it in there, but the nails were too long. And I just ended up using E3000 to glue it onto the back of the foam, and it worked out perfectly well. So now I go ahead and put that foam straight onto the cork. Now, I thought the cork was the same on both sides. For whatever reason, this cork is not. And see, I have my little logo down, not my logo, but somebody's logo is down there, and I didn't think about that. And I thought, just flip the cork over. Nobody's gonna see that. But when I flipped it over, the back side of the cork was really ugly, and I just really did not like it. I don't know why, but yeah. Okay, so I'm making sure that the 4mm foam makes a nice border, which it does. Now, I was just gonna, see, I'm so angry about that logo. So I was gonna cut it out with a craft knife, but it actually just smashes the cork. This stuff is really delicate. So I just ended up using scissors and tried not to rip it around the corners. I used contact cement in the garage to glue the cork to the large piece of foam. Now, before I actually glued the cork down to the foam, I labeled the back. And then I traced out my border. I just used 2 pens together. I could have rubber banded them, but I didn't have one, so I made it as symmetrical as possible. And then I cut it out and contact cement glued it down to the 10mm foam. I left a little bit of a gap on the innermost side of the 4mm foam. And then I kind of just wedged the cork in there. It was kind of messy, but it's fine. This is fine. And then once we got everything dremeled and glued, I was able to bring it inside and start adding 2 coats of Mod Podge. And then I got to paint. I painted it this pretty yellow, and then I added a gold yellow on top to make it not so sunflower yellow. And then, like I said, I was going to add a red piece of foam across the middle, but I just decided to paint it because that was easier and it looks just fine in my opinion. The red was a little bit too pink, too magenta for me. I don't think Luffy would approve. So I added in some darker pigmented red to make it stand out more. Then peeled off the tape. I did use my blow dryer to try and make it dry faster because I was just kind of impatient, but I might have left it for maybe an hour. It was fine. And then the most important details. Okay, look at the handwork, look at the elbow, the wrist, so delicate. We must be so precise for this very important piece. I think Shanks would fully approve. And it's ready to be decorated.
It's done. It's so cute. It's nice because you guys can't see all the imperfections because you're far away. You're way over there. I can see everything. But now is my favorite part. I just want to decorate it and put it on the wall. It's still like a little flimsy. The tape is just to reinforce, but I put a little guy there. And yeah, I'm so excited. We match.
All right, I'm gonna do my best to share the artists. I tried to save everything I could. If you know who the artist is, please comment below. And then the final detail was to add a rope to add all the keychains. Because, I mean, what do you do when you can't fit all your keychains onto your favorite backpack? You have an excess of keychains, so you put them on a rope.
Oh, I'm so excited. That really only took me like maybe 3 hours. It wasn't too bad. I mean, really, I should probably wait for the paint to dry longer, but here we are. So cute. I've wanted to make this forever, and I have a lot of leftover cork, so I can make more. And at this point, I know what you're thinking. But Sparkle, where are all of your Frankie pins? Where's all the Frankie merch? Where's Frankie? Well, I have a whole bag just for Frankie going. I love him. I'd probably make a board just for Frankie. This is one of my favorite bags. It's by Jerry Draws, and it has interchangeable faces, even has an inside print. It's so cute. That's where Frankie is. He's with me at all times. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this cute little fun video. Comment below if you've ever made your own pin board.
Do it, lady.
I really want to make more things. I thought this would take me way longer, but it didn't. Obviously, it's not as nice as these ones, and I probably could get away with making something in Tinkercad or something of this shape and better quality, but for using pretty much everything I had except for the cork that I ordered or got from Michael, it turned out pretty good. I'm very pleased. So we'll see if this holds up and actually stays by tomorrow. But anyway, thank you guys for watching, and go make yourself pin boards. Okay, bye.